Good evening. Welcome to my podcast. Tonight I'm going to talk about do not resuscitate orders. Here is a do not resuscitate order. Can you see? I found this in Brian's notes. It's dated the 20th of the 9th, 2017. I've highlighted the illegalities. They're actually in yellow highlight. As you can see, there are a lot of highlights. The first one, does the patient have the capacity to make and communicate decisions about CPR? And it's circled no. Are you aware of valid advanced decision to refuse treatment, refusing CPR? No. Has the patient appointed a health and welfare attorney to make decisions on their behalf? Circled no. Clinical summary. Advanced COPD. I think the most important thing is note GP has no evidence of next of kin. This is amazing actually, because there were lists of next of kin in the notes along with phone numbers. Has a discussion taken place with the patient? No. If CPR has not been discussed, please clearly record the reasons in the box below. The reason is the patient is confused. Well, the patient wasn't confused because 12 hours earlier he'd been found to have capacity to discharge himself against medical advice. And it then reiterates, as stated above, we have no evidence of next of kin or power of attorney. Signed, heavily redacted, position consultant, but the GMC number is conveniently there for all to see, so we know who this person is. And she has been complained about. It was signed at 12:30 on the 20th of the 9th, 2017. And strangely enough, that day, that afternoon, I was there and she addressed me as the patient's wife. Never made any mention of this, and I would be considered a relative. I didn't find this until 10 months later in the notes, in August 2018, after the patient had died. He only died a week after this, and of course, you know, this is illegal. I have gone to the GMC guidelines, and the GMC gives guidance on this. There is a presumption that you take all reasonable steps to prolong human life. There must be no motivation or desire to bring about patient's death. There is always a presumption of capacity. You must not assume that a patient lacks capacity to make a decision solely because of age, disability, appearance, behaviour, medical condition, beliefs, inability to communicate or make a decision that others may disagree with. Maximising a patient's capacity to make a decision, you must provide help and support for them to do this. All doctors must abide by the law in the MCA 2005, that's the Mental Capacity Act 2005. They must seek the patient's views and wishes and act on them. On June the 17th, 2014, a landmark decision was made by the Court of Appeal regarding resuscitation. It was held that doctors acted unlawfully in Cambridge University Health Board in Addenbrooke's Hospital in placing a do not resuscitate order on Janet Tracy without consultation to her or her relatives. Lord Dyson, Master of the Rolls, gave the judgment. There is a duty to consult. All NHS trusts have a duty to consult with and inform patients. If not, it is a breach of Article 8 of the Human Rights Act. So from June the 17th, 2014, there was the law laid down in black and white by the Court of Appeal. What went wrong in this case? Why was this so flagrantly, blatantly ignored? Why was the law ignored? And how many times has it been happening? Far too many, I believe. When I think of how Brian was treated, it was appalling. I complained. I received a letter from the CEO saying that it was a doctor's decision about CPR. Doctors may make a decision, but that decision has to be discussed. So we have it that the CEO of the Aneurin Bevan Health Board does not know the law. This is basic. People are banned from keeping animals for the way that Brian was treated. These doctors should not be left with patients. We are promoting patient safety. Patients must be allowed to be safe in hospital. Thank you. I will update you.